disponible. Y bueno, Trevor, if you want to start, let's begin.
Yeah, so let me see, you can hear me okay now then? So we are on a on a pretty big change here with this new release of the Savant Essentials, like our .10 release here that's upcoming. Just FYI, so you know, like we expect this to be delivered a little bit later this year. We've got a lot of new tools that we're adding to Essentials, so it's taking a little bit more time. We're doing some due diligence and testing, and we're actually really excited about delivering this because this will add a lot of value to your business as well. And I'm sure that there's going to be quite a bit of a change and that there will be a lot of questions, but I think in the end, you'll see, like we have shown in the past, that this delivers like a really good additional value. So you, Jose, do you want to, I can't hear you. You're muted.
Como bien dice Trevor, vamos a presentar lo que son las nuevas características de Savant, la nueva versión, la 10, que ya está pronto por salir, ahorita está en fase beta, en todas las nuevas características que vienen, las actualizaciones y novedades que vamos a tener con ese nuevo sistema. Por favor, todas las preguntas y dudas que tengan, las pueden hacer sin ningún problema, se van a ir respondiendo. Y pues vamos a empezar con esta explicación que nos va a dar Trevor referente a ese nuevo esquema, tanto de las cosas nuevas que se van a implementar, como de equipos, como ese nuevo esquema de licenciamiento que es muy importante.
On the next slide. Cool. So the traditional services, like, hey, you've got your, like it says here, the functionality is defined on day one. That means like you have an existing system and it kind of just sits there. So like what happens is like systems are installed and years go by, 5 years go by, and nothing really evolves. And the challenge with that is that the client doesn't get the experience of like newer releases, new hardware, new software. And these systems become harder and harder to support over time. So like with every company out there, like companies like us are eager to keep these systems up to date and make sure that they're in the latest generation. And a process like this, like a software as a service, as you can see below, helps us actually achieving this, keeping these systems up to date. The traditional is like, hey, you know what, you buy new hardware, you buy new software for new feature sets. Whereas if you have a subscription model, that automatically comes with the system and makes it easy for the end user to stay up to date with the system and not having to have a conversation with a client every single time you propose an upgrade or there's a need for an upgrade for additional costs. They're already involved with a subscription model. So it's much more efficient, and the systems become always current. There's the option to always stay current.
Bueno, como bien escucharon, pues ahorita estamos con el sistema tradicional de licenciamiento. Ahorita lo que se está buscando, pues un poco más resumido, es hacer el software como servicio, de tal forma que se pueda mejorar la calidad del servicio al cliente final, haciéndolo más accesible, sin depender tanto de cambios de hardware que se requieran anteriormente con comprar la licencia y las actualizaciones y todo esto. Ya con ese nuevo servicio de Software as a Service, lo que se pretende es agilizar esta parte de tal forma que el cliente no tenga que estar invirtiendo en tantas actualizaciones o en tantas modificaciones.
So wanted to like show you a little bit with some of the other companies in the market, in the general market, like how this model works, right? So this is not new what we're doing, but it is certainly a little bit newer in our industry where, and the subscription model hasn't been really, you can go to the next slide, please. Like this is a newer model, and I'm sure that we're kind of like the leaders in this area. Like we did the same thing with some of the way that we went to market with our software, with our licensing, and I think we are like kind of like leading the business here overall into like a new model. And to give you an idea here, like what we're showing here is kind of like other organizations, well-known organizations that have this subscription model already available. They're like many of us are Adobe cloud users. I use it for like my documentation. There's a lot more, and you actually purchase the software, and then you have a subscription. My QuickBooks, for example, same way. You purchase the software, and you have a subscription model that's cloud-based then as well, where it syncs it and it keeps my software up to date with a single payment per year. Same thing in the software, in the music area. So on the right-hand side, you see your popular music streams. That is a monthly purchase, or like you can have a monthly or a yearly purchase, and it evolves over time. So just want to show you here like some example, and then in the next page, you'll see here like with Garmin, like same thing with Garmin, very well respected big organization in the worldwide that has this this topology already in place as well, where you buy the hardware and then you have subscription modules for like the software that runs on it in different phases or in different tiers. So wanted to have you here as a guideline. Like this is not new. It is newer for our industry, for what we do, but it's actually pretty common, and many people are getting accustomed to it, and we have to evolve in this direction as well.
Okay. Bueno, como estaba explicando Trevor, este modelo que quiere implementar Savant no es algo nuevo, es algo que ya existe, es algo que otras plataformas o marcas también ya implementan, como por ejemplo los servicios de streaming o los servicios de software, tal vez como los antivirus, o incluso la ofimática como el Office, como bien conocemos. Entonces, no es algo nuevo, es algo nuevo dentro de la industria que nosotros conocemos, en este caso Savant, donde vamos a implementar esto por primera vez, se puede decir de algún modo, como por ejemplo marcas tan grandes como la que estamos viendo en pantalla como Garmin. Ellos ofrecen este mismo esquema en la cual se puede hacer un pago mensual, un pago anual o un pago según el nivel del cliente. Entonces, este mismo esquema es el que es el que va o el que quiere implementar Savant también.
Okay. So here we are. So if you want to go to the next page, yes, please. So here we are with like the Savant software as a service. So it's a subscription model, and we are naming it Essentials. Essentials is aligned with a 10 release, so that's how we will show it in terms of like our Da Vinci releases, right? So this is the first kind of like portion of this. So you'll have hardware supported experience here with like the Mac Mini. It runs on the S2 host, integrated host systems, smart host. We can push software updates on a regular basis, and we expect to be able to increase this with this model, where like we have just like less need for supporting like all the systems out there, because more systems will be more up to date. We can also now start offering more advanced integrations. As you might know, a lot of companies out there have cloud-to-cloud communications, like things like Ring doorbell. It's a lot of work to work with these partners and to communicate with them over the cloud. There's a lot of cost involved as well. And like with companies, for example, like Ring, you pay also like a monthly subscription service for their video application, video storage. And that all has to be paid for. So there's definitely a cost to this as well, to these advanced integrations. In this service for new assistant, there will be remote access and notifications included, and many more platform features. For example, like that image shows you on the right, we will have a dashboard available to the homeowner, so the homeowner can see their like kind of like high level what their system is doing in terms of what is it running? Like, is the subscription due or not? Is it so that like you can actually see like who actually last operated the system, or the scene's been triggered. So we're looking to now with this platform, with this Essential, to offer the client also a bit more feedback on what the system is doing. So it's not so much of a guess and a phone call to you. So the client is going to get a lot more access to the system and get a sense of what's happening with their household.
Bien, con ese nuevo sistema, pues lo que se quiere hacer es dar un servicio mucho más completo para los usuarios finales. el hecho de que puedan estar monitoreándose todos los cambios y modificaciones que se puedan hacer, todo basado en la nube como en nuestras plataformas, y permitir actualizaciones de manera mucho más sencilla de lo que era anteriormente, y obviamente teniendo un mejor soporte para el cliente final. Obviamente todo integrado desde lo que es el host más pequeño como el S2 hasta el host más potente que se tiene de la marca como es el Pro Host. Entonces lo que se busca es darle con este nivel de servicio algo mucho más accesible y obviamente para que se dé un mejor flujo de lo que sería pues el trato con el cliente, ¿no? Y también para tener una renovación mucho más fácil con la adquisición de los servicios de Savant.
Next page. Yep. So here a little bit more like in detail, like we've got again, the enhanced feature set over time. So it's much easier and quicker for us to deliver these feature sets and keep systems up to date. So there's actually a lot on the dock here to be released in the coming year under this Essentials program. We're also going to be offering, but this is separate, and this is just for the US and Canada for now, is a tier 1 Savant support. That's an end user. So today you have as a Mexican dealer access to Savant support already, but end users in the future are able to like call in as well. So like you would have an extra line of communication for the end user to call in and ask for some help. And that home management dashboard, again, some insight for the homeowner as to what the system is doing. And then also what's really, really important in here is the secure cloud-enabled home backup and restore. So what's now automatically built in, and the first phase is already in our alpha systems, is that we're backing up automatically systems to our Savant cloud, which enable you then to restore systems very quickly. So with that actually comes that like the licensing, all your licensing that you have on your host is actually not host based anymore. It's property based. So if you got the house in Mexico City and you're deciding to like change out the host, or for some reason the host got damaged, maybe there was like some voltage overload in the house, you can actually just pop in a new host there, hold up the Savant app, and actually do a backup and restore event there. So you can very easily quickly restore a system without actually having even to configure anything else. You can very quickly restore. As a matter of fact, the end user, or in Mexico, many times there are caretakers in the house. You could literally send a new host to the house, ask that caretaker to open up the app, get the host on the network, and hit up restore and up and running again. So that's a very powerful feature that I think will help many of us. So the key thing there is that backup and restore in the systems here, and that it's like even like end user based, and that you'll have like that the license is no longer on the host, but actually living on the property. So it lives there. Doesn't matter what hardware is actually against it.
Okay. Ahora todo lo que va a ser el licenciamiento está vinculado a la casa como tal o al proyecto, no tanto al host como se estaba manejando anteriormente. Y una de las características que está ofreciendo ahorita es el poder facilitar el monitoreo del sistema a través del cloud, del Savant Cloud, lo que va a hacer facilitar por parte del integrador ver el estatus del sistema, cualquier tipo de fallo que tenga, todo a través de la nube. Y también va a ofrecerle al cliente final la capacidad de poder también tener soporte por parte de Savant cuando tenga alguna cuestión para revisarse. Entonces va a tener dos vías. No solo va a poder tener soporte por parte de su integrador, sino también va a poder tener soporte por parte de Savant.
Yep. Next page. Oh, I think we have some questions in the chat room. Oh, I can't read them. Sorry.
Sí,
you know what we'll do is we'll like somewhere a little bit further down there are actually questions. So let's slide 11, our questions. So then we'll take a break and we'll get into the questions.
Ok, cuando lleguemos a la área de preguntas, ya podemos parar un momento para responder cualquier duda, y luego seguimos. Nos tomamos unos minutos para un pequeño break.
So here on this page, you see actually that second line item here, the home management versus hardware. So again, the The software lies actually on the SCM cloud product property, not on the actual physical hardware. All the licensing, the individual licensing for, let's say, Zoom Rooms, Ring, Home app, those Apple apps, all of that is included. You no longer need it. You have like almost unlimited amount of additional licenses like already automatically offered. So you're not buying additional license anymore. That's all included. So that's it. That's built into here as well. But keep in mind, like what is really important, and I realize that this model is maybe a little bit newer in Mexico, or maybe not, maybe you prove me wrong, but that recurring revenue here, for example, actually means that you are getting a piece of this revenue as well. So this actually helps us finally to get our dealer base also into a recurring revenue model. And it's very much aligned with like what the security market here does as well, where I'm honestly not 100% sure how that happens in Mexico, but the security market typically sells hardware at very, very low margin, but they have the recurring revenue monthly income, like I pay ADT monthly payment for the plan. And so it becomes very, very profitable for your organization and gives your company actually a value.
Ok, en esa parte lo que estamos explicando, Trevor, es que el objetivo de todo esto, de esta plataforma que se está presentando, es también poder tener unos mejores ingresos por parte del integrador para que siempre esté en contacto con el cliente, ¿no? Una de las cosas muy importantes que menciona referente a ese nuevo modo es que todos los licenciamientos que se manejaban como Ring, como Zoom Rooms, todo ese tipo de licenciamientos ya van a venir integrados. O sea, no hay que adquirir algo por separado, sino que es cuando tú tienes este servicio ya viene completamente todo integrado para que se pueda utilizar por parte del usuario final.
So,
okay.
The next slide. Sorry. Yeah, next slide. So there are basically 3 levels, and we'll start with 2, but there are going to be 3 levels available. So it's kind of like we call it tiered solutions available for every home and for the Essentials platform. You'll have Savant Core. So like it says here, local Savant experience for modest-sized project. So think of, you don't need a subscription. You would upgrade a system to Savant Core for maybe particular reasons. But if you do a basic system, like think of a soundbar with a remote control and some audio, or an S2 host, an S2 host with a remote control for just local TV control, or maybe it's the SIP-N1 for just some audio distribution. There are actually many systems where you don't need remote access, where you don't need notifications. You're just doing some local control. So that's what we consider core. Not everybody needs everything like the full-blown system. So we call it core. There's no subscription for this, but then we move over to essentials. And essentials for the new release system. So when we go into the essentials released hosts, we will go into the subscription model, and that gives you then again that local and remote connectivity, the bundled advanced integrations, meaning that's the bundles advanced integrations are all those individual licenses that you typically have to purchase today to integrate. So your Zooms, Zoom Rooms, your Ring licenses, your Home apps, for example. And then depending on the host, you'll have a subscription per year. And these costs are actually not terribly high. You'll see that in a moment when we break this down per host. And then later, but this is like, gosh, sometime next year, we'll even offer a premium version of this where there's actually like AI-driven materials, like think of AI-driven cameras, also technical support, so consumer technical support. So I don't see premium necessarily moving into our international market yet, and it will be sometime anyway. But the core and essentials is what we are launching late this year, and to go forward. And I'll explain a little bit more about it on the next slide. But maybe Jose, you want to translate this?
Sí, aquí las tres niveles que va a manejar Savant son, como ya vimos, Core, Essentials y Premium. De entrada está el Core y el Essential. El Core, que se puede decir que es el básico. ¿Básico en qué sentido? Que es para sistemas que no requieren ningún tipo de licenciamiento adicional. controles sencillos, como para encender un televisor, como para controlar mis luminarias de manera local, tenga mi barra de sonido o mi dispositivo de audio SIPA 1 para streaming de audio de manera local. Es el sencillo, no es necesario un licenciamiento. Al final de cuentas, el sistema va a seguir operando sin ningún problema. En el Essential ya es para integrar algunos servicios adicionales, como pueden ser servicios de Ring, pueden ser servicios de Zoom, ya más orientado a lo que sea un Savant Smart o Pro, donde vas a tener servicios ya de manera añadida y los vas a poder activar en un momento dado para tener el servicio disponible. Tanto Core como Essential son los primeros que se van a lanzar. Se espera que esté ya disponible para finales de este año y va a ser la entrada. Para el próximo año, por lo menos en Estados Unidos, va a lanzar Premium, donde ya es un servicio mucho más completo, donde va a incluir hasta soporte técnico para el cliente final, va a incluir las soluciones de inteligencia artificial, como ya hemos visto de las cámaras de reconocimiento facial, por ejemplo, pero esto todavía no está disponible para lo que sería Savant Internacional, en este caso México, pero paulatinamente va a estar. Pero de entrada, lo que sería la base de ese nuevo licenciamiento, de esa nueva etapa a partir de DaVinci 10, es el Core y el Essential.
Okay.
Okay, next one.
Yep, next slide. So here's the breakdown for each one of these licenses. Each one of these hosts. So to start with, and I'll start with the core pieces there. Sorry, not with the core, but the smallest host. It's like on the right bottom side, you find your S2 host, the SIPA 1, and the soundbar. And so an Essentials license for it, the subscription, is $75 a year. And so that comes down to less than $7 a month or so. So very low. But I also think that these types of installations probably don't even need a subscription. Because like I said, if you're just looking for some TV and audio control, there's actually, I mean, honestly, like who needs notifications, remote access to it? Now, maybe a little bit different if the lights are included, but for like some of the basics, the core system, like we said earlier, core, that's kind of like that system that I'm thinking of. Then if we move up to the right top there, then you got the smart host. So that essential software will be $275. And this is US dollars. So just keep that in mind that this needs to be transferred over into local currency. But that's the annual purchase for the subscription. And then it goes up to the Pro. So those are the biggest jobs out there, right? These clients get like really large systems out in the field, and that's a $550 MSRP annual license. You are selling these. Oh, there's of course the Super Pro host. We don't really sell too many of those, but just it's there as well. You are the one that would be selling this. So like this is where you make your margin on the product and where you have that recurring revenue. So this is not end user purchasing. You will be purchasing this as well. And we'll go in a little while, we'll go through some of the kind of like additional, let's say, FAQs as well, because there's a lot, I'm sure there will be a lot of questions around it. But just a basic breakdown here of the cost per host. And you'll see, by the way, before we translate, that the cost of these upgrade licenses, or sorry, of these essential subscriptions is identical to the upgrade license. So that $550 is the MSRP in the US dollars for the upgrade license. Same thing for the smart host, same thing for the small host. So those prices are exactly the same. And keep in mind again that all of your additional feature licenses are included in this.
Bien, aquí para que tengamos la idea, el esquema que se va a manejar es empezando de la derecha hacia abajo con el Essential para los hosts embebidos, como son el SHRC2 o el SIPA 1 o con las barras de sonido, donde tiene estos precios. Obviamente aquí estos son precios en Estados Unidos, es en MSRP. Nosotros vamos a publicar ya los precios que van a ser al final de cuando ya tengamos liberado todo esto, pero la idea es que en los hosts básicos es un precio más o menos estimado. Obviamente no se requeriría aquí que tengamos un Essential porque son situaciones o proyectos que pueden ser simples, que no necesitamos alertas o vincularlos tal vez a alguna funcionalidad más. porque es algo tan sencillo que tal vez solo quieran escuchar audio, prender la tele, etcétera, pero va a estar disponible también. Incluso arriba, siempre a la derecha, en la parte superior, lo que sería el Smart Host, donde ya tendría un precio más o menos estimado anual, todos son precios anuales para el licenciamiento. Y también estaría la parte de los el Pro Host y el Super Pro Host, precios estimados en MSRP anuales, donde tendrían todas las características ya incluidas para poder operar. O sea, no hay que adquirir ningún elemento adicional para poder activar algún servicio dentro de los juegos de Savant. O sea, todo iba a venir completamente integrado. Y obviamente vamos a tratar de mantener los márgenes de ganancia para todos los integradores para que pueda haber un gana-gana, como siempre hemos buscado.
So before we go to the next slide, because that's the questions area, I want to actually already note, because I think this is going to come up and we will talk about it, is existing systems that are on 8, that are on 9, and you do upgrade them once, let's say $275 MSRP, you upgrade those to essentials, to 10. If you decide then not to pay for the subscription, so not paying further for the subscription, you do get to keep all of the services that you have had previously. So to give you an idea, let's say remote access will not go away for any of the clients that have existing systems today. So if existing systems today move up into the 10 and decide not to want to continue paying for some additional services, that's fine, but they will not lose their remote access, their notifications, the license that they've had. So just keep that in mind, we will honor what clients originally owned.
Okay. Todos los sistemas que vengan de 8 o 9 y que migren a 10, si no quieren tener en el Essential, no hay ningún problema. Todas las funciones que tenían anteriormente van a seguir funcionando sin ningún inconveniente. Todos estos cambios se van a dar ya para todos los productos que ya vengan con la versión 10 directamente de Savant. Pero mientras sean actualizaciones de este tipo de versiones 8, 9, etcétera, van a seguir conservando las mismas funcionalidades que tenían antes de esta actualización. The next one?
Yeah, there's questions. Maybe you want to help us with the questions.
Ok, vamos a ver. Let's see, with Giancarlo, Diego Alanis. All the actual hosts are going to be upgraded to 10 version. This is going to have some cost.
If you upgrade it to 10, yes, the initial cost is that upgrade license, like always.
Okay.
There's no change there.
Ok, todo el upgrade tiene un costo. Eso no va a cambiar para nada.
Like when you upgraded from 8 to 9, was the same thing. This is the same thing.
Yeah, okay. Every host that upgrade from 9 or 8 to 10, it has a cost like always has been.
Yo tengo una duda. ¿La puedo hacer, José?
Sí, adelante.
Hey, Trevor, so just to understand, if we need to upgrade kind of the host, okay? And I know the new features that comes on won't be able for the host that we're gonna upgrade, right? But what happens with all the I don't know if Ring or if the others upgrade too? Would our customers lose their functionalities with that, or you will maintain the support on those that already have their licenses?
Yes, we will support the hosts that already have existing features like licenses, remote access.
Do you have any time frame for that? Because regularly as always, lifetime. Okay.
Grandfathered in. Like people that owned it, they pay for it. You can't you can't really like force them to like purchase something that they didn't sign for previously.
Yes.
So they will always have it. Clients that are new, your new properties, when we deliver the host with the license on it. So just know also, this is important. We need to translate this. Today, or even in December, we will be shipping the host still with a 9 license on it, and you will upgrade it to 10. And sometime in the first quarter, so let's say, my guess is February, we will ship the host with a 10 license on it. The moment you have the 10 license, that's when essential really for the new jobs become kind of like in that essentials model. Anything before, what you have, you continue to own it. Now, keep in mind, if you have a 9 system and you do upgrade it to essentials, and let's say you add lighting to it, like you're not lighting, but like let's say you do the what's it called? The Leap integration with it. For the Leap integration, you do need the 10 subscription. So if you're doing something in addition that requires the 10 subscription, then you want to continue forward with that essential subscription.
Okay.
Okay, I have another, but I think Jose first can translate this.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Como dice Trevor, todos los licenciamientos que vienen a partir de 10, que salgan para ya cuando se libere la versión 10 de Da Vinci, estos van a venir para que sean activados con Essentials. Obviamente, si no se quiere activar el Essentials, todas las funcionalidades que ya vienen integradas por default, como ya hemos comentado, los otros servicios no van a estar activos. El sistema va a seguir funcionando de manera local, pero no va a tener activos esos otros servicios. Todos los servicios que sean 8 o 9 previos, como los que tenemos actualmente, cuando se dé la migración o cuando hagan el upgrade a 10, toda la funcionalidad va a seguir como está actualmente, porque es algo que ellos pues no lo contrataron, no lo tenían contratado en su momento. Entonces van a seguir trabajando de manera normal. Ahora bien, cuando se quiera instalar algún servicio que es propio de la versión 10, ahí sí se va a tener que hacer, pues obviamente tener el Essentials para poder hacer esa funcionalidad. Esas van a ser las cuestiones en cómo se van a manejar esta parte de los nuevos equipos. Todos los equipos que sean de 9 van a seguir saliendo más o menos en todo lo que resta del año. Después de esto, más o menos como en diciembre, creo yo, y lo que viene, ya van a empezar a salir con 10. Pero esos que vienen con 10 ya son los que van a venir con el Essentials ya para que puedan funcionar. Si alguien tiene una pregunta, adelante, sin ningún problema, con toda confianza puede decir yo quiero hacer una pregunta, por favor.
Okay, I have another one for you, Trevor.
Yeah.
What about the integrator, kind of a new integrator coming to the customer house? Like, I don't know, let's say another integrator is the one that is running the license during that year. Would other integrators will still be able to make some changes on the programming and take the property of the system, or during the year the subscription time, it will be 100% of the integrator that developed that? Because you said that we're the ones that are gonna charge that, so we are the ones that will gonna handle it, right? So I don't know, I just want to be sure, like, if I'm getting into a new home, the other integrator doesn't cut the service just because I am in there, you know, like something like that. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think I follow you, and maybe Kevin can help here as well. But like, it doesn't change too much from what like it is today. Okay, like the property is on SCM, and like you are able, like always, able to like go into that property and work on that host. Just note that like the initial subscription was purchased by let's say by you, right? The dealer, and you would be buying that yearly. Like it's not like it's automatic, but like every year you purchase this and then place it on the host. So I don't think that changes. Maybe Kevin has some additional information.
Yeah,
Okay, yes.
yeah. The license moves to the home as Trevor mentioned. So really the homeowner owns the license and is paying for it.
Yeah.
You're getting a piece of it every time it's purchased, but the home is covered with the license for the length of the time that they buy it for. So you can actually go in and make your changes. It doesn't stop you or another integrator. It's the same as it is now in a way. It's just that the home is the license is on the house, not the host.
Sí, aquí Perdón, Giancarlo, nada más para que lo entiendan todos. Aquí la cuestión estaba preguntando, Giancarlo, el hecho de que pueda ir a una casa y quiera programar, pero si alguien ya lo hizo anteriormente, el hecho de que alguien más lo haga, si se bloquea la licencia o algo por el estilo. Aquí las licencias como tales se están vinculadas a la casa como tal. O sea, se puede decir que la licencia es propiedad del dueño de la casa. Y eso no va a impedir, como está ahorita, de hecho, que alguien más pueda ir o el mismo integrador vaya y tenga que hacer alguna programación, alguna modificación que se le solicite. Eso va a seguir funcionando del mismo modo. Incluso si por alguna razón llega a haber algún cambio porque ya se venció la licencia y ya no lo va a haber un integrador en específico y entra otra persona para hacer las modificaciones o lo que se le solicite por parte del cliente, va a poder hacerlo sin ningún inconveniente. Porque al final de cuentas el propietario, sí, el integrador al hacer la instalación pues tiene su parte de la ganancia por hacer el proceso y también de licenciamiento, de la renovación que se tenga que hacer. Pero aún así no afecta en nada el trabajo que se tenga que realizar, siempre va a estar disponible. Y otra cosa muy importante que se me estaba pasando a mencionar, que acaban de decir, es que la renovación de licenciamiento no es automático. O sea, hay que solicitarlo. Am I right, Trevor? The license is not automatic. Renew the license, right? It's not automatic.
It's not automatic, not today. No, not automatic.
And okay, and just the last question, what about notifications for the integrator or the dealer that sailed that? Like, it will be a headache to remember, like kind of if it was last month or next month, and who's gonna receive that notification and how can dealers can do the follow up on that.
Yeah, so that's being finalized. So like you will get a notification, so it's not just waiting on that to happen. So you'll get that through the community, like that your account, like the account that is connected to, well, I should say the property that's connected to your account will get a notification that the subscription is due, so that you can buy it and then sell it to the client. Now, but actually, just translate that first, Jose. So the rest.
Okay, of the, sí. Aquí la cuestión es en cómo pueden saber referente al vencimiento de licenciamiento, en quién va a recibir la notificación de ello. Prácticamente el que va a recibir la notificación es el integrador a través de su portal en el Cloud Management. Es donde va a recibir, se le va a informar que la licencia que se ha adquirido ya está por vencer o ya está vencida para darle un seguimiento. It's all the licenses is through the dashboard from the integrator. He's gonna receive the notification if the license is in the last days or it needs to an update or renew, etc.
Exactly. Yeah. So and you just
want
to add
so
two
exactly
things.
that's just for the dashboard, because you said that the license will reside on the dashboard, and let's say the dealer is not anymore with our customer. Is there any, we should go into a protocol, or the dealer, well, the owner is the one that will select us as their new integrator through their app, or how's that going to work? Because since the license will be residing on the integrator's dashboard, then the new integrator or new ones,
let me correct that. Let me correct that. You're purchasing the license, but the license, like you do today, you transfer it to. So today you transfer, so you get a license, right? It's very similar. You buy the license and now you copy it into System Monitor. The change that's going to happen is that the license is not going to be on the host for System Monitor, but you are transferring the license to the host, to the SCM or to the cloud account of that house. So it's not on your, like you're moving the license from your cloud to the client's properties cloud. So it lives on the cloud. You are just getting a notification if you're the assigned dealer of like that license is, or like a subscription update is required. But the license doesn't stay with you. The license, you move over to the client's property.
Awesome. Thank you. That's clear.
Todo el licenciamiento que se va a manejar no se le queda al integrador o se queda en el cloud del integrador como tal, sino que como el esquema es diferente, donde ahora el que tiene el control, por decirlo de algún modo, es el dueño de la casa, entonces todo va a estar almacenado dentro del cloud del proyecto, en donde el integrador va a poder entrar y va a poder recibir pues lo que serían las alertas de si ya venció la licencia o está por vencer. It's all in the cloud of the house, right?
Correct.
So the integrator is linked to that cloud so he can get the notifications.
Correct. And like in your app today, like you are, like if you use the SCM integration in the app, you are authorized by the client to have management over the house, like in the app. So it's the same mechanism. So that's how the client can change deals if need to. Let's say Giancarlo decides to retire in Cabo. The client could be like, hey, I want a new dealer, and basically then assign a new dealer to it.
Entonces toda esta asignación nueva prácticamente la va a hacer el cliente. Pues como ustedes saben, en la aplicación cuando tú te registras, pues prácticamente el cliente te puede dar el acceso. Bueno, más o menos funciona así. Ahora la situación va a ser que el cliente se puede decir que tiene tiene la capacidad de decir quién quiere que le vea el sistema o quién no. De tal forma que si por alguna razón, pues por poner un ejemplo, ya no quiere que un integrador X vaya y le dé mantenimiento a su residencia o su instalación, lo da de baja y él puede dar de alta a otro integrador dentro de la app, como un usuario para que pueda checarlo, como técnico, no sé. De tal forma que así es como el integrador nuevo va a poder tener acceso al estatus de la instalación.
So two things I wanted to add for everybody. Just like, let me just add something real quick here. Sorry, Edgar. We have dealers already, when this comes to play, actually buying 5 licenses for the house. So, and this is why. So you can do up to 5 subscription licenses, so 5 years up ahead, like we have today with our Host Plus scenario. So they're buying 5 licenses to basically not have to worry about the next 5 years of subscription. And in addition, what they're doing is actually tying it into their own service agreement with the client. So something that's happening already, like in more and more countries as well, is that dealers, because of the complexity of the job, have subscription, or I should say maintenance agreements with clients. And they're basically putting that our fee, our subscription, inside their own subscription with their client.
So the dealer is use the subscription of him with the owner, right? Am I correct?
Yes. Yeah, the dealer already. So like a lot of dealers have already maintenance contracts with the owner, and they basically buy the license from us and just put it into their own agreement with the client.
Ok. Sí, es que está explicando que en algunas ocasiones, en algunos otros lados, en algunos otros países donde está Savant, pues lo que hacen es que el mismo integrador es el que compra la licencia y ese que la puede administrar al final de cuentas. Entonces hace un enlace con un acuerdo con el cliente final para poder llevar el control de licenciamiento, que eso podría ser también una opción. Alguien más, por favor, si quiere hacer una pregunta, adelante con toda confianza. Puede conectar, puede activar su micrófono y hacer la pregunta.
Hi, Trevor. Camilo asks, with what default license will the host go next year?
Hold on a second. Let me. I don't follow. 10. So like starting, let's say February, it's all depending when the first release is. We're launching a soft release, Camilo. Like we're doing a soft release where like we are offering an essentials license, but your host that you're getting from us, hey, let's say a Smartest, comes with the 9 license still on it. And so basically like the first couple of months, you'll be able to still like give somebody the 9 license with all the feature set, and then move into 10. And then come February, a few months later, we will start shipping all the hosts with 10 licenses on it. And so like somewhere along the first quarter of the year, we will ship with 10. Does it help, Camilo?
Sí, todos los equipos.
Oops.
Adelante, Camilo, si quieres hablar con toda confianza, por favor.
No, it's only to thank you, Trevor, about it. And I have another question. Did you have another solution? For example, you have Ring, you have Zoom, but Savant is working in another kind of integration because we need tools to sell this product, this new kind of product to the clients.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot more coming. So like, gosh, other like camera AI is coming. We do have for the client a dashboard, right? So don't forget the dashboard for the client. So like right now, they don't really know what's happening with the system besides like, I mean, they can see it, but if they're wondering like, why did my lights turn on? Like who triggered the scene? That is part of this. We are going to cover a couple of more things a little bit later of like what is being added. So I'll cover that, Camilo.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, and another question that I was reading here, like about the Zoom licenses. So like, yes, if you are in a 10 Essentials license, Zoom is automatically included, Ring is automatically included. You'll find more like Chamberlain for the garage, things that are coming that are cloud-based that you typically have to buy a license for is all going to be included. Technically, we offer with each license, with each Essentials program, 99 licenses for you to use. So I don't think you're going to use it. So that's included in the 10 in the Essentials subscription. And I think that was Christian that was asking that question.
Sí, todo lo que viene ahorita con la nueva versión 10 ya va a venir incluido. Ya no necesita, como estamos mencionando anteriormente, no se necesita comprar una licencia aparte, por ejemplo, Zoom o Ring o todas esas cosas por el estilo. Todo ya va a venir completamente integrado a partir de Essential.
So and I do read a question from, I think it was Alberto, about the insight from C4. There was an advantage with us that it was included. To just be honest, for years we've been saying at the dealer summits that we need to have a subscription model because this is costly. Like cloud to cloud is very, very costly. And at some point you can't offer that anymore. But keep in mind that like our subscription model has a lot more than just remote access. So like you'll see that we had advanced integration with Lutron, for example. We have that dashboard, we have backup, restore, like all the scenes and user management. So that you'll see that over time, there's a lot more to it than just remote access. So I do understand like for some time we had that advantage, but it's just not sustainable.
Sí, como bien dice Trevor, hay cosas que pues ya no pueden ser sostenibles al día de hoy y esta solución que se está ofreciendo no es solamente para el acceso remoto, sino que se van a estar integrando varias cosas como son poder hacer monitoreo, respaldos, integración de otros servicios que se van a ir dando en el futuro. Entonces, eso no está limitado nada más a esa parte de que puedo monitorearlo remotamente y puedo ver que no, o sea, esto va más allá. Por eso se está manejando de este modo, que antes pues ya no resulta hacerlo con el modelo actual. Pero no está limitado nada más a una cosa, sino que está integrando varias cosas. No solo es el ver que está conectado, sino monitorear, respaldar, etc.
And to answer Alberto's question about the table, so in a way, like the Essentials license, like the additional service that we're bringing, there's no difference between the host, but the traditional host matrix of like the size that a host can do, as smart host can do 18 zones of audio, S2 can do 6 zones of audio. That still exists. That's still the same. But like services, like backup software, Ring licenses, all the stuff, that doesn't change in Essentials per host. So it's identical.
Todo el licenciamiento va a seguir de manera normal. O sea, es muy similar a como se está manejando ahorita. O sea, va a seguir siempre con todos los hosts desde el 2, desde el Smart, etc. It's all the same, the functionality of the license, this license, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. I just want to clarify it because I saw the question there.
¿Alguien más que quiera preguntar algo? Con toda la confianza puede conectar y preguntar sin ningún problema, o lo puede hacer a través del chat.
Perfecto, Gerardo, José. Entonces, nada más para clarificar en un ejemplo, en el Pro Host vamos a tener que seguir haciendo la inversión inicial de hoy por hoy MSRP $5,000 y aparte pagar un fee de $550 anuales.
Yes, it is
Diego
in
is
addition, I think. Yeah.
Diego is asking if, for example, for the Pro Host, he needs to make the investment in the Pro Host plus the service of the license.
Yeah, correct. And then the subscription.
But
Just know,
right
Diego, that
Adelante, Diego, por favor.
Yeah, I'm gonna make this question in English so you can
Yeah.
fully understand. Right now, we make an initial investment of the Pro Host. Let's say it's $1,500. Then the license is $5,000, and then we will have to pay $550 annually to keep our privileges.
correct. That's the subscription. Just know that the license, that I think you said $5,500. We see that as like for the processor. Like, I know it sounds like a lot of money for the license, but that's because that's the operating system. Whereas in a smart host, it's all bundled into one box. So think of like, if we would have had the Pro Host at $1,000 and the license, like if we would have built it ourselves, you would have that same price. It's just because the Pro Host, it's a Mac Mini, nobody makes money on it. And so that license still consists, and then you have the yearly subscription model. And keep in mind, those are for the biggest properties out there. We sell a lot more of the smart host. So like, just keep it in mind, like, yes, it's expensive, but that's for the biggest systems out there.
Okay, that was my question. If the annual fee would replace the license cost or not, but I think it's pretty clear.
No, that's impossible. Yeah, that'll be impossible. Yeah. Because
Okay.
there's no money for you too, right? Like when any of us, like I know that AEVA provides the host there, but there's no money in it. So like that's very hard to maintain the service and warranty, you name it. So that's why we have to do the license.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Thank you, Diego. Yeah.
¿Alguien más, por favor? Con la confianza.
So I think we can advance then. Yeah.
Ok, si nadie más tiene alguna pregunta más, vamos a avanzar para poder seguir con ello.
It's only a few more slides now, I think. Yep. Next. So a couple of things actually we've kind of like been talking about already in our conversation here. So first thing, this I think, especially for the dealers here online that have been doing this a long time, I think you'll recognize how really great this is. The license doesn't sit on the host anymore. It sits on the home. So that SCM cloud account for the home, that's where the license sits, not on a piece of hardware. And that saves us a lot of trouble. So that's key. It's a one-time home licensing. So like it's like not like necessarily like sitting on the host again. And it's like that again, like the subscription just keeps this host up to date. So you don't have to sell the client each single time an upgrade license, which is always a harder thing to do than to do this up front. The case management, future case management is also tied to the home, not directly to the host. It is all tied to the home. So like being able to start a case. So like you'll be able to go into your SCM cloud, and you guys are lucky because you have Savant support for the US. Like you can start a case directly from the SCM of that home. So like you can start cases, process any communication there, and not have to like copy paste all the information over. That probably won't be day one, but that's something that we want to implement very, very quickly thereafter. And this is, you can actually go directly from 8.6 to 10. So it's backwards to all jobs from 8.6 and later.
Todo el licenciamiento, como ya ha comentado Trevor, es del host a la casa o al proyecto. Eso va a ser el vínculo que va a ser ahorita. Entonces, esto lo que va a hacer es hacer mucho más sencillo lo que es el proceso de actualizaciones, porque va a ser un único licenciamiento para la casa. En todo lo que sea los casos están vinculados prácticamente a la misma, o sea, ya no es que copiar todos los datos para poder crear un caso y que te puedan dar servicios, sino que ya todo va a estar tomado directamente del cloud, haciendo referencia a la instalación. Y obviamente todo esto va a ser compatible con todos los trabajos a partir de Vinci, la versión 8.6 en adelante. The next one.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. So yeah, we spoke about this a little bit already as well, but here you see kind of like the outline of what this backup and restore looks like. What we are not seeing here is the image of SCM. I could actually even show you that, like in SCM, you'll see the backup, when the backup was, and so you can even restore it there as well. But here you see that UI, what that looks like on the app, on the home app. Again, a caretaker in your house can actually process this automatically. So all of your app scenes, your user data is backed up. So that's important. Like in the past, we've seen challenges with like keeping these. So these are all stored. Your keypad scenes. So remember that the Savant scenes that the client creates are actually able to be transferred over to the Savant keypad. And so the top button of the keypad is your lights, and then the second button is, for example, a Savant scene, like a welcome scene. All your room photos, your home photos, channel favorites, everything that you build is all back up to the cloud. And then to actually like to get that restored again, and let's say there's a major power issue or so, or storm. We have a lot of storms there comes by, and we need to replace something. All the client has to do is open up the app and start the process of onboarding onboarding the new host. And you see there in that first image, it shows you below that like, hey, there's no connection, and then below it is those restore Savant home. And once you select that, you got the next page with like pick the host. So that's the host that's actually then found on site. So we can discover this. So all we need is that host to be on the LAN, and then we can discover it and bring it in and start our backup. So that's very powerful. I think this will help us tremendously because in our business, hardware, definitely processors need to be changed over time, or they fail because of like weather-related issues.
Y todo ahorita, la ventaja que vamos a tener ahorita con ese nuevo licenciamiento es la capacidad de poder hacer el respaldo de todo lo que tenga la app configurada, desde escenas, desde la configuración de botoneras que se pueden hacer a través de la misma aplicación y las configuraciones que ha hecho el usuario, se puede hacer un respaldo de la misma para en un momento dado poder restaurarla. O sea, ya anteriormente no teníamos esta opción, pero ya con estas nuevas modificaciones se va a poder hacer todo el respaldo de todas las modificaciones que haga el usuario para poder recuperarlas y volver a reinstalarlas, lo cual lo hace una gran ventaja y un adicional de ese nuevo sistema de DaVinci 10.
Yeah, next one. So this page, I think this is probably somewhat limited for Mexico because of these vendors that are on here, but it does show like something else that we're doing kind of like in a first phase type of scenario. So integrating, for example, into a third party, like our parties that we're now finalizing with, Sync is one of them. That's our own company, our own lighting solution that I'm trying to get to Mexico as well because it's a really nice lighting system. And so deep integration is very time consuming. It takes a lot of time, big investment. But what we can do in the meantime is actually create these app shortcuts. So for example, in my own app, like you can see in the image, I have a little sync icon for some of my lights and my camera in my sync system. And I can quickly like launch this by just hitting this icon. And then when I'm in the sync side of it, I can just quickly go back, like you see in the circle area, go back to the previous settings. So one of the other areas that I foresee happening very soon is like Nest thermostats, for example, Nest cameras. So that will get a app shortcut. So although it is in a different app, the client can actually just start everything from the Savant app, but then quickly like see like the Nest cameras, for example, and then go back again to the Savant app. So that's something else that's coming with 10.
Sí, esas son las nuevas características que vienen con la versión 10, el hecho de poder hacer los enlaces mucho más dinámicos, el hecho de que tú puedas moverte de una pantalla a otra, como en el ejemplo que se muestra en la presentación, donde te mueves a al apartado de la aplicación que quieras controlar, pero te va a permitir poder darle, regresar a la pantalla previa, sin ningún tipo de, como que regresar de pantalla en pantalla hasta el principio. O sea, te va a poder permitir de donde estabas originalmente, te puede, al salirte del apartado donde entraste, regresar al punto inicial. Estas son algunas características que van a estar en la versión 10, obviamente con algunas cuestiones nuevas, como por ejemplo Sync, que todavía no está disponible aquí en México. Esperemos que lo podamos tener ya para finales de año, ya cuando venga la versión 10 en forma, y nosotros lo podamos tener ya igual para la venta para todos los integradores.
Yep. Next page. All right, so also really excited about this. Like we've been showing our Ascend keypads for a little while, and now we're getting really close. It's the trade war with China, and then now all the logistics and the pandemic has made this really difficult, but it's getting now very close. And so with the 10 release, with Essentials, we will have our Ascend keypads available. So we expect to start the pre-order very soon. It's already in our design tool. So if you go to the design tool on the store, you can already do it. We will start with three finishes, that bronze, graphite, or like a black, and then a white finish in 4 buttons first. So we're going to start with just a couple configuration and very quickly build this out. A very other nice feature, and by the way, this is metal, so these are premium keypads, really nice feeling keypads. So absolutely premium. The low voltage keypads for our centralized lighting systems. And then the other thing that's really nice about it, and you see it in that fourth bullet, is the pre-assembled engraved. So you have the option to actually have this pre-engraved from us. So basically, you go for the design tool and you already ask for the engraving up front, and then we ship it complete with engraving, so you don't have to change out the buttons. On the other hand, what's very nice, and you can see that in the left-hand image, is that if you do not want the engraving, and maybe you want to keep it really clean, the buttons already have small little icons on it. So you could say hey, hit the button with the 3 dots on it. So these are coming shortly, and yeah, very excited about this.
Sí,
Also
aquí,
10 release.
Sí, esto va a venir igual liberado con la versión 10. Ese nuevo modelo de botoneras las hacen con acabados metálicos. De hecho, muchos ya habían preguntado sobre este. Ahorita están en preorden. Deben de estar disponibles para más o menos a mediados de noviembre. Se van a venir en estos modelos. Estas se pueden grabar los nombres directamente al dispositivo. Obviamente es hacer el diseño en la herramienta, como en la herramienta de grabados, como en las botoneras que ya conocemos, y se van a entregar ya completamente grabadas, o en su defecto van a venir con el marcado de los pequeños circulitos que vemos en cada uno de las teclas, ¿no? Ese sería el default. Ojo, muy importante, estos equipos son de bajo voltaje. Por el momento son de bajo voltaje con estos 3 modelos, que ya esperemos que estén ya disponibles para noviembre. Y estos ya van a venir para ser completamente compatibles también con la versión 10, que ese es uno de sus lanzamientos.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another configuration of the keypads, basically. So these are, I'm sorry, I'm mixing something up. So these are new keypads with DMX built in. So they're low voltage. You can tell these are the Echo series of the keypad here. And they have DMX, by the way, I apologize. The Echo and Metropolitan design, low voltage. So all we need is local power. You could do any kind of low voltage cable or our keypad bus to our power panel. And then locally built in is a DMX processor. So now from a single keypad, like the line shows here, I can control up to 32 fixtures. So look, this is kind of nice for smaller systems. Maybe you can't run wire throughout the entire house anymore. That's certainly very difficult with the construction in Mexico, right? It's solid brick and concrete. And so like maybe now you've got like a single room where you want to do DMX light with some DMX color fixtures, and that can be done locally through this keypad. All it needs is 24 volts AC power, and then the rest is communicating all from the over Wi-Fi back to the host. It does have actually like backup built in, so like if the host communication falls away, you can still control the light locally. I'm not sure, to be honest, to what level, but some basic control is still there.
Sí, y el modelo de botonera, de esas botoneras de la línea Metropolitano Eco, que esas ya están listas para controlar luminarias tipo de MX. Son botoneras de bajo voltaje que se van a comunicar con el host a través de Wi-Fi, y estas botoneras van a tener la capacidad de que se le pueda conectar con cargas de MX, hasta 32 cargas va a poder soportar cada uno de estos dispositivos. Como dice Trevor, aquí este modelo sería muy bueno de aplicar en las residencias que algunos están en México por las características. Es una muy buena solución para un área, una zona donde se requiere ese tipo de instalación. The next one. Trevor, your microphone is up.
Yeah, I muted by accident. Sorry about that. So also very exciting. So this is it's actually kind of like a first that we offer our full lighting UI user interface to any other party. So now like you can get true image, so like have full true image imagery of your devices with Lutron QSX with the Leap integration. So this QSX processors. That includes daylight mode. So as you can see in the image, daylight mode, temperature, which is really nicely designed, I think, I use it a lot in my household. So like temperature control. And I think what we've done here is show clients that very easily, without very much difficulty, how easy it is to change, like going from like 5,000 Kelvin to like 3,000 Kelvin with just normal naming. And then of course that whole color dial, right? As you can see on the far right there, like we have the dial and the intensity, and that you can now save these color scenes or temperature settings into a scene as well. We also have default lighting. We'll have shades included in it as well. And it's actually right now like in beta, so we're trying to get some more modules out. Know that we do need a separate hardware box at $500 MSRP for this integration. There's a lot of processing going on, so think of like that the processing that goes on into this box. It's just something that we are not able to like incorporate in every single host out there. So we felt it was smarter to have the processing for Leap integration, because it's a very intense processing, separately outside of the host. So now you can actually do this lighting integration with an S2, Smart Host, Pro Host, doesn't matter what size host you're using, as long as you get this Leap box.
Y bueno, esa la integración de Lutron, de QSX con Savant, donde se va a poder controlar los servicios del Lutron como el True Image, el poder configurar la tonalidad de iluminación con las características de Ketra, el poder hacer la configuración de iluminación según el día, poder controlar cortinas, los retornos, las diferentes cargas, todo esto integrado en una sola caja o un solo dispositivo, el cual se va a encargar de hacer todo este procesamiento, obviamente vinculado con Savant. O sea, la idea es que por la intensidad de los procesos que hace, está separado de este modo. Pero este módulo que va a salir y es compatible con la versión 10, va a poder hacer todo ese control con la línea QSX de Lutron de manera total, desde la configuración de tonalidades, control de diferentes dispositivos, la iluminación y control de escenas.
So yes, Mauricio, it's available for Smart Host as well.
Importante, está disponible para todos los hosts, desde Smart Host, Pro Host, Super Pro Host, even the SH2 host, right? Y los hosts pequeños, tanto
you just got to keep in mind the amount of lights that you should have on a host.
Exactamente. Va a estar disponible para ser utilizado o compatible con todos los hosts. Solo tener en cuenta lo de siempre, el número de retornos o el número de cargas que va a resistir cada, según el host que se elija, pero sí es compatible con todos los hosts.
Yeah, Mauricio, I know you wanted to get one of these, and I'm trying to get more that are being built as we speak. So we don't have them for pre-order yet. I want to actually see if I can make one available for beta, for your beta testing. So bear with me, they're being built.
Sí, ahorita está en beta, entonces pues, nada más esperando la liberación. Si alguien requiere algo de ese tipo, pues se comunique con nosotros para poder revisarlo.
So next slide is questions. Anything in the meantime that came up? Feel free to ask. I'm
Si
here
alguien
for
tiene
everybody.
alguna pregunta, por favor, puede activar su micrófono y hacer la pregunta sin ningún inconveniente, o lo que tengamos en el chat. Y ya le está pasando Edgar las preguntas también.
Okay, let's go to the next slide. I'm sure that's something else.
I have a question.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. About Savant music, we're still having some issues with it, failing the communication with the host, and some issues I think are because of the new 9.4 upgrade. Are these issues being addressed? I imagine they are being addressed for 10.0.
Yeah.
Are they going to be addressed also for previous versions?
9. Yes. Yeah. Great question, Mauricio. Like there certainly have been some challenges. Like even though this gets so much beta tested, still we find some bugs. So we are releasing a lot of updates in 10 as well, and we will release an update in 9.4.3 also. Initially, we were planning for maybe 2 weeks after the 10 release, but we're still trying to figure out if we can do it even sooner. So let's just say, Mauricio, I think the question is, we are not going to force you to go to 10 to get bug fixes. We will release it in 9.4.3 as well. So
okay. Especially music. I mean.
Yeah, no, of course it's one of the most important things, right? And so it's yeah, we're not going to force anybody. Technically, also our support has the ability to, if really need to help a client get into 10 without having to do the subscription. So that there is a way for us, like we've done in the past, like here's a license to go to 9 because it's not going to get fixed in 8 anymore. So we have technical capabilities of helping somebody to go to 10 if it's not going to be addressed anymore in 9.4.3. But for the next one, we are definitely coming out with 9.4.3.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, you got it, Mauricio.
Ok. ¿Alguien más que quiera preguntar algo, por favor?
Trevor Nicer asked, when will integration with the Alexa in Spanish be available?
Yeah, actually, I read that and I'm thinking, I thought for Mexico and Spanish, we actually did have that already. Kevin, maybe in the morning, can you and I chat again and see, do we still need to chase Alex for this? But gosh, I could have sworn that Juan Pablo, for example, had it already. I know why. He's got a US account. Right. I think I know the answer already. He's got a US account. So I need to follow up for Nazar. I thought it was resolved already, and I'm not 100% sure where we are with it. I'll follow up. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, Jose. So, yeah, next slide, please. There you go. So just to be very clear, right? So like what we had said. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I think back to the beginning. Yeah. There you go. Next one. So just to kind of reiterate and just to be clear for everybody. So we call it a soft launch. We don't want to do this all at the same time. So let's say forcing everybody to do this all at the same time, because it's a big change. We understand that. This is for all of us a big change, but I think we all see the big benefits here. So initial release for 10/essentials is early Q4. To be honest, it's starting to look like it's now going to be November. possibly December actually already. So just keep that in mind. All new systems in this period, this first period, will ship with a 9 license on it. So like you're basically all those systems that you're buying, then like for the first period, have the 9, and we'll get a 9 license. You'll get that 9 license that ships with it. So like we're not pushing you into 10. If you then upgrade a system to a system to 10, then you'll start that feature set for annual RMR. Now you don't have to continue it because your host is on 9 already. But if you continue, then you can enjoy the essential subscription for the next year or so. So this is kind of like what we discussed a little bit earlier. So we'll ship at 9. You can upgrade it for the one-time upgrade fee and to 10, and then you'll have the features. If you don't continue paying, then you're just fine.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Raúl, go ahead. En todos los sistemas de 10 van a salir en este último cuarto del año. Posiblemente esté disponible en noviembre, como les mencionaba, mediados de noviembre, tal vez diciembre, con la versión 10. Mientras todo lo que se compre en este momento va a venir siempre con la versión 9 y obviamente la licencia que corresponde de esa misma. Si se hace el upgrade en su momento de versión 9 a versión 10, entonces en todas las características se van a tener que adquirir para la versión 10. Every upgrade from 9 to 10, you need to purchase the essential subscription from 9 to 10.
At least the one time. If you upgrade it from 9 to 10, even in the same period. So if you do a paid upgrade, otherwise you leave it on 9. So like in this first period, it comes with that upgrade license. So remember, like you would get the host with the 9 license the way it is, and you purchase the upgrade license to get to 10.
Ok, entonces todas las licencias que vengan en ese último periodo van a venir con 9, y cuando se quiera hacer la migración a la versión 10 de las últimas que salgan, son las que van a tener que tener ya van a venir con Essential, con esta actualización. Every 9 version right now from the last quarter, when they need to upgrade to the 10, the Essential subscription isn't necessary for this purchase.
Exactly. You can just do it once and then continue. But if you use that host, upgrade it to 10, to let's say incorporate the Lutron, then the Lutron QSX, then you need to continue paying.
Sí. Y como dice Trevor, y repito de nuevo, todo lo que salga en ese periodo con versión 9 y se requiera migrar a 10 para adquirir el Essentials, pero también hay que tener en cuenta que algunas características como la que mencionaron por ejemplo, el nuevo sistema de integración, mejor dicho, de Lutron que requiere la versión 10, se va a tener que tener ese licenciamiento y obviamente pagar el licenciamiento como hemos mencionado anteriormente para poder continuar con ese servicio activo.
Now, also, I think we might have a few of these in the field as well in Mexico. Fielded Service Plus host. So that's when the host, we have a special offering for a host with like all the host upgrades included. They will get 5 years of essential subscription applied to the host. So like we will honor the hosts that are out there, the Service Plus host.
Es con los servicios de Service Plus que se contratan con los 5 años de soporte. Estos hosts van a venir ya con el Essentials por los 5 años, como se hace ahora. O sea, el servicio Plus, que son 5 años, va a venir integrado con el Essential por esos 5 años.
And so then when 10.1 starts shipping, so this is like in the first quarter of the year, and we say here 10 for everybody, 60 days post launch. So again, Q1, all the new hosts will ship to a 10 license plus a 90-day essentials try. And that's when the client, or you for the client, can talk about like, okay, I'm going to do the annual subscription, or I'm staying at core and not enjoy some of these new features that come with 10.
Y cuando la versión 10.1, en que va a salir ya para el primer cuatrimestre del año, pues ya va a venir con 60 días de prueba de la versión Essential. Entonces, en ese periodo, ya se decide por parte del cliente si va a querer tener el servicio para poder hacer la adquisición y se puede hacer la revalidación, como hemos mencionado, para las diferentes características, o en su defecto quedarse con el servicio core o el servicio normal, por decirlo de algún modo, pues no va a tener activos los otros servicios si los quisiera en un momento dado.
Okay, next slide, please. So we'll give you a little bit of a road ahead here, like the next 6 months, what we're planning for. So the consumer home dashboard, what I feel like is really important for the client, the end users, they're getting something else besides keeping the system up to date. So they can see their system, what the system is doing over time, the subscription that they have on the system. So nice customer insight. The second one with the technical support is not applicable. Like that's for the end user, right? So you, as a dealer, always have dealer support from us. We will be releasing camera AI, so like smart camera feature sets with a premium subscription. So that's later. And the same thing for like network AI features with the premium subscription. So we have a deep development with a partner of ours in network switches with webs, and kind of see it like this system will build will build like a Wi-Fi network and get more stronger and stronger over time, because it learns and changes kind of like how the system behaves, how our devices are communicating with the network, and literally AI. It learns what the clients are doing. Energy features. So we're going to market very soon with like new in-charge power panels with our Baker modules. So the modules that we've been selling for some time, and then a director that sits in between a power panel and, let's say, solar and battery solution. So now you simply said, like, you could have your local battery and your solar installed, and actually our director would sit between those devices and our in-charge power panel and manage the power services in the house. Keep in mind, like, it is a bit depending, like which battery and solar panel we have, or the inverter is in between. So I do want to have a little bit of a caution there, but our goal is to start working with some of the major players in the market there. Other thing that's really exciting is the Pro App custom service icon. So like being able to add your own or a selection of custom service icons finally to the app as well. So like a really wide variety of additional service icons. And then also coming soon is Amazon Music. So we're adding Amazon Music in the next 6 months as well. It's coming along very nicely. In this next release, by the way, I don't think I saw it anywhere. Next release, we'll have SiriusXM, iHeartRadio, and some other music enhancements as well.
Quickly, solo para explicar rápidamente esa parte de lo que se va a dar en los cambios es, como ya hemos mencionado, entre finales de este año y principios del que sigue, los primeros meses, cuando ya se dé toda la migración a DaVinci 10, vamos a tener lo que es el dashboard para lo que es la administración de la casa, o donde va a estar el proyecto, cómo se va a manejar el licenciamiento actualmente, más el sistema de suscripción que ya hemos explicado, lo del technical support para el consumidor final o para el cliente final, que por el momento va a estar disponible en Estados Unidos y Canadá, pues esperemos ya tenerlo también. En las características nuevas de lo que es las cámaras con inteligencia artificial, que va a venir con la suscripción premium, todo lo que se refiere a las cuestiones de redes igual y el hardware, que son para ese tipo de comunicación, igual que va a estar saliendo con la versión premium del servicio, que poco a poco lo van a tener liberando para nosotros. Como sabemos, ahorita es Essentials y Core. Una de las cosas muy interesantes y nuevas es lo del monitoreo de energía, el poder monitorear ¿cómo se llama? Generación, en consumo de paneles, de sistemas centralizados, etcétera. El hecho de poder personalizar también los iconos dentro de la aplicación, que es algo de una de las características nuevas que van a estar presentándose. Y obviamente como lo del soporte de música, de Savant Music a través de Amazon Music, que es una de las características nuevas que van a entrar en este mismo periodo de liberación de la versión 10. The next one.
And by the way, Mauricio, I think Mauricio Martinez, it's the same price as like an upgrade price today. If I'm going to 10, it's exactly the same price. So for you guys, the dealers, if you're a beta participant, so like every one of you should be a beta participant, you will get your essential license for this. So you can start practicing on the cloud backup and restore, the shortcuts, Leap integration when we have that hardware available, right? So like we will make that available. We'll give you for the beta for your showroom, and like make sure you are on beta for this to get this. And we'll get you the 5 licenses per host type, so you'll get plenty of licenses for us. You'll get a test consumer dashboard. So you can actually like see like how that process works. So actually the details are already on the beta forum. So make sure you are on beta, and we need to do it for you. So like Mauricio, like send that to international@savant.com. So then Deb in our team inside sales can actually enable you for beta, and it would be really, really great if you could. With anything, the more beta users, the better. It's remarkable like how sometimes our experience with music, for example, is different on this side of the border than it is south of the border. It's just something that we just can't avoid. Now keep in mind, like we're deploying new UIs, changes, and we have Spanish translation in there, and so maybe we're missing something. You guys can actually absolutely help with discovering these so they can get quickly fixed before we launch it.
Okay, perfect. Entonces, bueno, aquí ya, como bien dice Trevor, para las cuestiones de si quieren tener la experiencia de DaVinci 10, ya pueden solicitar la versión beta. Nos pueden mandar un correo para hacer las pruebas que ustedes necesiten con esto, para poder solicitarlo. Para checar lo que es cómo se maneja el licenciamiento, respaldos, cómo se restauran, los accesos directos, la integración con Lutro. Pues como bien se ve en la lámina, se les van a dar las licencias por host para que las puedan testear. Igual con la parte de la nueva versión que sería la 10.1 que sale para el próximo año. Todo esto va a estar disponible para pruebas. Creo que deben de tener en activo que sean beta testers dentro del sistema, y de todos modos que nos comuniquen si quieren empezar con estos tests del nuevo sistema para que podamos solicitarlo directamente, ya sea con Trevor o con Deborah de Savant, para poder darles esta parte para poder empezar con, valga la expresión, con las diferentes pruebas de cómo funciona el sistema, detectar cualquier fallo, las cuestiones de traducción, que esté todo completo en español si se requiere, para que no haya para detectar cualquier bug o cuestión que pueda ser, a lo mejor se pasó por alto en un momento dado, ¿no? O sea, la idea como bien saben, del beta es para verificar qué tanto tiene, cómo funciona, qué le falla, o qué no le falla, o qué le faltaría por corregir, ¿no?
So I think, Jose, that's it. I mean, here's like there's more information coming. We'll have more webinars before we get there. We'll have like emailers out as well, so that there's a lot more following.
Mm-hmm.
But we wanted to make sure that this information about the Essentials program is as clear as possible to everyone. And yeah, so look, there are quite a few more slides here with like some questions. Jose, I think
yes, sure.
Because we're out of time, is maybe actually translate those and share them with the dealers, because they answer probably like a lot of questions that are going to come up over the next weeks or so. But in the meantime, any questions now for when you have me and Kevin Hoppert on the line?
Por favor, si tienen alguna pregunta, adelante. Vamos, do you think we can do some questions for 5 more minutes?
Yeah.
Si tienen alguna cuestión, por favor, en 5 minutos más, por los tiempos también, ya nos tomamos bastante tiempo con esto para no quitarles más el tiempo a ustedes también. Si tienen alguna cuestión que no se haya respondido, por favor, que nos lo hagan llegar a nosotros para que lo canalicemos y les podamos dar una respuesta de cualquier duda o comentario, por favor. con la confianza y la libertad, ya saben, estamos acá para servirles. Si ahorita tienen alguna pregunta más, igual, por favor, pueden activar su micrófono, hacer la pregunta. Adelante. Tenemos 5 minutitos más para responder cualquier cuestión que tengan ahorita. Alguien por allá que quiera, adelante, por favor, con toda la confianza.
Everybody okay?
I guess all is clear.
Yeah, okay.
I'm good explaining it to all, I hope.
Yeah, we just had a question come in and I'm trying to I'm not following. Can you help me with that one? Or let me actually. I'm not sure what the question means.
I have a question about this more technical and some comments not available in Savant.
I can't hear you anymore.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can. You were totally muffled.
Sorry. Now I have a question from Mario from AVCS. Yeah. He's asking if some commands are not available in Savant. How can they get them? Maybe I guess he's referring to some profiles, specific profiles or functionalities of devices from third party. If how can they request for custom profiles?
Yeah, so that's always possible. If it's something that we can do, then what you want to do is start a case on the on our community. So like you as a dealer, Mario, you can go to our website and start a case for profile request. So you can do a new profile, and if you have an existing profile and you need some changes to it, you can do the same thing. You can ask for some changes, but it starts through the community with starting a case, and then when you start the case, you'll have a drop down. And that gives you the option to like create a profile, need a new profile.
Entonces, bueno, si necesitan alguna cuestión en específico, yo ya le había platicado igual con ABCS, con Mario, que tuve el gusto de platicar, es generar el caso, como lo había mencionado, para hacer la solicitud, la evaluación del mismo, ¿no? Ya tengo la información y la voy a canalizar para que nos apoyen también respecto a ello. I have a question from Christian Hernandez. He's asking about Siri, if Siri is going to have some changes from this version with the new or with the theme, I guess.
No, I don't think so. Like Siri works today from the remote control when the Apple TV service is enabled, and honestly, like Apple hasn't really done anything else to make it so we can do it without the Apple TV. So I don't think that changed. And basically what we're doing is for the Siri voice, we are just channeling the audio directly to the Apple TV service. And that works really well, I think. But I don't know if any change. Kevin, I see that you got unmuted, but is there something maybe that I'm missing?
No, you're right. There's no change. Any change like that, probably we wouldn't see anything till after we have better integration with Apple, with AirPlay 2 or Apple Music. Right now, their API is very limited for us.
Sí, por el momento, Cristian, gracias por la pregunta referente a Siri, pues no va a haber muchos cambios referente a lo que está actualmente. Más son cuestiones de Apple, que no permite tanto para la integración. Obviamente hay integración con AirPlay y las otras funciones que sí están funcionando ahorita con Savant, pero en el caso de Siri no va a haber ninguna modificación o algún tipo de mejora, si esa es la pregunta, por cuestiones ya de la propia marca que no lo permite. Por lo menos algunas funciones como están ahorita van a seguir funcionando y las están mejorando, como por ejemplo tal vez el control de voz para encender y apagar algún televisor, etcétera, pero no hay un cambio sustancial en este momento.
Might be coming, Mauricio. We have a partnership arranged with Josh AI. So basically they have our API. So what we've actually changed a number of things in the way that we do our integration with third parties. And so like it's easier also for the partners, officially, like when it's an official partner, they'll get from us an API information from us, and then they can build the integration, and they have it from us. So we are in partnership. We are waiting for their next turn. So fingers crossed.
Ok, alguien que tenga que hacer alguna pregunta más, por favor, nos las pueden mandar a mi correo. Es jrpech@eva.mx. Las vamos a canalizar con Trevor o con Kevin. Todas las que estén pendientes igual en el chat, vamos a hacer la misma situación para que les demos la respuesta lo más pronto posible. Quiero agradecerles el tiempo que se tomaron por esto. Espero que hayan podido resolverse las dudas, las que se tenían de este cambio que va a haber. Y que agradecerle a Trevor y a Kevin igual por unirse con nosotros para que nos expliquen todo ese nuevo proceso. Every new question they have, they can send us to email and resend to you to answer. The time is over. I appreciate
Everybody knows how to reach me.
Participation. Trevor, Kevin, thank you very much to join us with this. I hope everyone has answered to his questions or doubts.
Yeah.
If there's something else, we are in touch. They can send us emails for everything. And thank you very much for this. Si no hay nada más, realmente les agradecemos mucho por el tiempo que se tomaron para acompañarnos. Thank you very much, Kevin. Thank you very much, Trevor. De nuevo, les insisto, cualquier duda, cualquier pregunta, por favor, háganosla llegar a través de WhatsApp, correo, y las vamos a canalizar para poder tener las respuestas. La presentación la vamos a tener ya traducida en lo que falta de estos días y la próxima semana. Se las vamos a tener disponible para que la puedan ver. Esta sesión se está grabando. Igual la vamos a tener disponible para que la puedan revisar en el momento que ustedes quieran. Y por el momento, pues es todo. Si alguien tiene alguna cuestión por allá que quedó pendiente, por favor, les repito, se comuniquen con nosotros. Y bueno, les agradezco por su tiempo. Muchas gracias por asistir. Vamos a seguir haciendo ese tipo de dinámicas. En esta ocasión nos tocó con eso de la versión de Vinci 10. Vamos a liberar otras dinámicas en el transcurso de los próximos meses, que ya vamos a publicar las fechas para estar disponibles, para que ustedes también se nos unan con nosotros para poder participar. Igual, por lo mismo, si tienen alguna sugerencia o alguna cuestión que quieran tratar en una de estas presentaciones, por favor, mándenosla para que lo podamos checar y podamos programar algo. Well, Kevin, Trevor, everyone, thank you very much for your time. We are in touch and everything. We are here to help you.
Very good. Thank you, everybody. Great seeing you here on this webinar.
Muchas gracias a todos. Que pasen muy buenas tardes y estamos en contacto.
Buenas tardes.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Hasta luego, muchas gracias.
Adiós.